We are the anchors of Queer News Tonight, and this evening we discuss the queer headlines. The city of Wilton Manors hosts the Stonewall Pride Festival, reaffirming support for LGBTQ+ rights. Despite past challenges, it promises to be a memorable celebration.
A study by MSL.com analyzes online Google searches across the U.S. about sexual identity. What state is the gayest? The results likely will surprise you.
To criticize Biden for honoring Trans Day of Visibility on March 31st, which was coincidentally Easter this year, Trump designates November 5th as, quote, Christian Visibility Day, end quote. Wait, what?
As Morphine Love Beyond's drag race journey ends, she discussed her plans to make Miami a drag capital in an exit interview with Out.
Navratilova condemns Caitlyn Jenner for criticizing Biden's recognition of Trans Day of Visibility and points out Jenner's hypocrisy over the statement of family values on Fox. Anyone surprised it's Martina Navratilova?
Good evening and welcome to Queer News Tonight. This is the world's first and only LGBTQ+ daily evening television news, broadcasting live and available on demand. We're on all your smart televisions, including Roku, Apple TV, Android TV, Amazon Fire TV, Twitch, YouTube, and the Facebooks. It's time to queer up the news for Thursday, April 4th, 2024. We are live and literally out of the closet and into the headlines. So many of your important stories we're going to tell this evening on Queer News Tonight.
This is the world's first live daily LGBTQ evening news show, literally out of the closet and into the headlines on Queer News Tonight.
This is the world's first and only unedited live LGBTQ+ evening news show. Whatever happens unique in LGBTQ+ news, you will see it and hear it.
Hotspots magazine, Happening Out television network is a nonprofit 501c3 media company in the same model as PBS and NPR, but designed for the LGBTQ plus community. Our mission is to support the 11 pillars of our LGBTQ plus community. We want to inform and educate the key issues of our queer culture, the Black community, Latino, lesbians, and queer women, trans, students, youth, seniors, HIV, AIDS, healthcare, business, social, justice, and faith. Help us support our community.
We are part of one of the largest LGBTQ+ nonprofit media companies in America, Hotspots Magazine and Happening Out Television Network.
In 2024, our magazine is celebrating 40 years of the LGBTQ+ experience, and our television news and talk and entertainment shows support our mission to educate the LGBTQ+ and broader community.
Let's begin tonight by meeting our anchors for Queer News Tonight. First, we'd like to welcome Alan Beck. Alan is a trailblazer and icon in LGBTQ+ media, known for his iconic fun maps that evolved into fun travel guides. As vice chair of the Stonewall National Museum Archives and Library, he bridges history and future initiatives. With over 30 years in the industry, Beck is an international queer travel authority. Alan, Stonewall National Museum is presenting a June Pride Month exhibition called Stonewall in Stonewall. And on June 29th, you're going to have the Uprising reenactment for the 55th anniversary of the riots. What can you tell me about these happenings?
On June 1st, there'll be an exhibition regarding Stonewall and the riots. And on June 29th, there'll actually be a reenactment in the parking lot starting at 4 o'clock-ish in the afternoon. The reenactment will involve actors. If anyone locally is interested, there'll be auditions coming up soon for the roles of Marsha P. Johnson and Sylvia Rivera and others. So show up and get in touch with the Stonewall National Museum and Archives.
Excellent. Thank you. Next, let's welcome anchor Dr. Bobby Huen. He's a certified civil and family mediator and founder of BH Conflict Resolution Services. From Hong Kong and having grown up across the world, he can offer a queer global perspective on current events. Bobby, a SAVE fundraiser called Glitter and Be Gay with Lindsay Alley and Island City Stage is coming up. What's going on there?
Well, we all know Island City Stage in Wilton Manors, which is famous for hosting many, many funny comedies and drama written by Ronnie Lawson and amongst others. And this time, the former Musketeer, Lindsay Alley, is going to do a fundraiser for SAFE, which is a very important LGBTQ advocacy organization, formerly known as SAFE, now they are known as SAFE.LGBT. And hopefully this will be a successful fundraiser for the organization. And this year is more important than ever that we need all the pitch and resources so that we can help these advocacy organizations to fend off anti-trans and anti-LGBT laws nationwide.
Excellent. Okay, well, speaking of glitter and being gay, let's welcome Glen Weinzimer. He owns Bona Italian Restaurant in Wilton Manors. Glen is founder of the Smart Rise, which raised over $16 million for the HIV/AIDS community. He is passionate about getting out the LGBTQ+ vote in this crucial election year. Glen, Bona Restaurant continues to with their Give Back Mondays events to support vital services for our LGBTQ+ community. Next week, you support equine-assisted therapies on April 8th. Tell me a little bit more about that event.
Sure. Equine-assisted therapies works with individuals, children, and adults that have had mental trauma, and they work with the horses. It's amazing to see how this brings people out and makes them more part of the community and more able to communicate. During the pandemic, they had to stop a lot of these services to a lot of these folks, and they reverted back. That when they came back, it was like starting from scratch again. So the work they do really does make a difference for these kids and for these adults that have had brain injuries. We do this every Monday night. We choose a local nonprofit that we as a community care about and give 10% of the house back. So in the last 7 years, it's about $65,000 with all these small little checks.
Nice.
Yeah, cool. And of course, there is tonight's lead anchor, Dr. Tai Houser. He is a professor of English and Humanities at Broward College and teaches in the College of Business at FAU. He has served as visiting professor at colleges in Bolivia, Brazil, China, India, and Spain, and provides an international viewpoint. Tai, I see that a grassroots community gay gathering is happening again called the Gay Sunday Fun Day Beach Party at north side of Pompano Pier on April 7th. Tell me what's happening.
Yeah, so for a while now, I think we probably know that at the Pompano Pier, they're trying to get Stonewall Beach going as kind of a new gay beach destination. And some grassroots folks are trying to get folks to join them this weekend, or any weekend really, but this weekend specifically at the north side of the pier to just kind of have a good day at the beach, have a fun day at the beach. But it's also an important day because if you want to go to the beach this weekend, the Tortuga Festival is happening in Fort Lauderdale. So it's a really great weekend to go up to Pompano and avoid the Tortuga crowd and get to experience another beach. So give it a shot.
Amazing.
We are the reporters for Queer News Tonight, and this evening we begin with the queer headlines. The LGBTQ+ community in South Florida and across America is diverse. Our community across the world is vast, and here are the bullet points of the queer news for Thursday, April 4th, 2024. We begin tonight with Queering Up South Florida and Florida. City of Wilton Manors becomes presenting sponsor of Stonewall Pride. Hotspots Happening Out is gearing up to host the vibrant Stonewall Pride Festival and Parade, now officially titled the City of Wilton Manors Stonewall Pride Festival and Parade. Following the unanimous vote by city commissioners, Wilton Manors became the exclusive title sponsor. showcasing a commitment to supporting the LGBTQ+ community. Despite concerns over last year's financial losses, the city's support is to ensure the event's success, allocating $50,000 to clear outstanding debts and enhance security measures. With increased oversight and input, the partnership promises to be a seamless and unforgettable experience. Organizers, led by Stonewall CEO Jeff Sterling, are optimistic about this year's festivities, anticipating a more inclusive and celebratory atmosphere. While challenges such as political tensions and unpredictable weather persist, the community remains resilient and united in commemorating the Stonewall Riot's 55th anniversary. More than 60,000 are expected for the parade on Wilton Drive, including the largest number of entertainment stages in Stonewall Pride's history. Mark your calendars for June 15th and join Wilton Manors in honoring LGBTQ+ pride with music, the parade, and joyous revelry. For further information, visit stonewallpride.lgbt. This is great. I'm so glad that the city is stepping up and coming to bat to fund and to keep Wilton Manors as a central part of the Pride event. And I'm excited that we have even more stages this year, because they're always great entertainment.
That's nice. And also, I'm very happy that Wilton Manors get to become the official exclusive title sponsor. So no, like Wilton Manors Stonewall Parade sponsored by, Tito's or whatever.
It just rolls right off your tongue. So easy.
It's just that, I don't necessarily accept the heavy criticism of like the over commercialization of Pride, because we do need sponsors, we do need some, we do need some corporate help, and plus corporate pride is never a bad thing. That means that they actually try to at least
present the face
of supportive of us. Or rather, you present something that's supportive of us than present something that's, for the opposition.
That's true.
There's definitely hope for good weather, because the last couple of years we've either had rain or intense heat. And suntan lotion is number one. There should be a booth that just hands it out, because I remember being very burnt several years in a row.
They should have those fans that they sell at Disney with like the mist thing where you spritz.
Oh yeah, the electric ones.
The thing will
keep everybody cool.
Okay, rainbows right in front of it.
That's great. Okay, up next, Alan, what do you have for us?
Next, let's queer up the USA View new report based on Google search reveals the gayest states in America. A recent study by Prosthetics and the brand Emisil.com delved into online search trends across the United States to gauge the curiosity about sexual identity. After analyzing search terms like "Am I gay?" and "gay test" alongside LGBTQ+ population data, California emerged as the state with the highest number of searches related to sexuality, with approximately 45 million searches in the first quarter of 2024 alone. Californians searched online related to "Why am I gay?", "gay test," and "gay quiz." Following closely behind was Texas, with around 37 million online searches. Third comes New York, fourth is Florida, and fifth is Illinois, with popular searches for lesbian dating sites and lesbian dating. According to recent data analysis, there have been more than 282 million Google searches for "Am I gay?" in the United States of America alone in 2024. California alone accounted for nearly 16% of the total. Agata Pajor, a spokeswoman for Emisil.com, emphasized the significance of individuals turning in search engines to explore their sexuality. However, she cautioned against relying solely on online gay tests, noting their potential lack of scientific validity. Bajor advised considering more reputable online resources for meaningful insights into one's queer feelings. But the number of online searches for a gay test or am I gay may mean a coming awareness of explosion of the number of LGBTQ plus people that really exist. I think that's true, and there will be an explosion. The one out of every 6 is no longer true.
I think the thing that's most surprising to me is that the number of people that were searching are in the most liberal, except for Texas, states, and Florida also, no, don't say gay, but like you look around the rest of the country, you would think that places in the Midwest where people don't have a way to come out as easily would have more searches to find out, am I gay or am I not gay? And it's surprising that the biggest cities are the ones that actually took that title.
What happened? I mean, Glenn, in your day, like you couldn't Google it. How did you know?
No, you stand on the tallest cliff and you just yell. And if you saw something cute, you just threw a tablet down on them with a note that you had chiseled.
I mean, all our age is showing there was no internet by the time when I realized I'm gay in the mid-90s, internet wasn't much of a thing yet.
Yes.
Yeah.
What are you trying to say? That we're the same age? I'll take it.
Being the older man in the group, it was much more difficult to come out at that time. I came out in my 60s, then got married to a woman, had a gay relationship for another 7 years, went back and married a second woman, and then I realized really who I am.
Yeah.
And came out. I'm out and proud.
Yeah, that's excellent. You know, it's interesting to note too, I mean, it's a fun survey and it's fun information, Absolutely. But really those are the top, well, number 6 on this list is Pennsylvania, and that represents the top 6 most populated states in the U.S. Right. So it's really not surprising that the numbers are where they are, but it's interesting and kind of a fun way to think about how you know, maybe young people or questioning people are opening up to the internet with their
I do want to
sexuality.
know, though, why Illinois scores the highest in terms of lesbian places to meet lesbians.
Farmers? I was more mountains, more farming.
Subaru, you must put more dealerships in Illinois.
And we're going to get sanctioned. No.
All right, Bobby, take us home.
All right. Next, let's queer up religion. Because Biden had Trans Day of Visibility. Now, Trump declares a Christian Visibility Day. Yesterday, Donald Trump declared November 5th as Christian Visibility Day, sparkling debates on religious freedom and separation of church and state. This follows his criticism of President Biden for recognizing Transgender Day of Visibility, or TDOV, on Easter Sunday, stirring controversy among conservatives. TDOV has been celebrated annually on March 31st since its inception in 2009. And this year, the day coincided with Easter, which changes its dates every year. When Biden recognized Transgender Day of Visibility, Trump and his supporters alleged that Biden's administration aimed to undermine Christian traditions, despite Biden's affirmation of both events' significance. Biden is a devout Roman Catholic who has always emphasized inclusivity and protecting all Americans, regardless of gender identity or religious affiliations. However, during a Green Bay rally, Trump commented on Biden asking, quote, "What the heck was Biden thinking when he declared Easter Sunday to be Trans Visibility Day?" End quote. Easter Sunday rotates over 4 weeks in an annual calendar, so both falling on the same day was a misinformation conspiracy theory drummed up by Trump. According to The Independent, he then promised that Election Day would see an extraordinary Christian turnout, branding it as Christian Visibility Day. He has now repeated Christian Visibility Day a number of times, and it is just coincidentally Election Day, November 5th. The former president's attempts to rally conservative Christian voters with such proclamations have ignited a nationwide discussion about the intersection of religion and politics in America. So, fun factoid, November 5th. It's also iFox Day.
Yes, remember, the 5th of November.
November. And, and also, this is probably one of the most WTF thing that ever happened in American politics. It's like you seize on a coincidentally, that one thing ended up on the other. It is not unusual to have some kind of date of like floating religious holiday or even Chinese New Year or Jewish New Year to crash into another day of significance of other people. And
I think they're going to be shocked to find out that in 2 years when we go back to the polls, Christian Visibility Day won't be on Election Day anymore.
but it is also, remember, I mean, he's no longer talking about Christian conservatives. He's talking about Christian nationalism at this point. The Election Day is significant for that. I mean, they are saying that, Christians should go out and vote and impose our homophobic, xenophobic values on the country as a whole.
What's scary is that a lot of his followers will believe that it is, and probably have never realized that certain holidays rotate dates. Like, usually Passover happens before Easter. This year, Easter happened before Passover. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's so many holidays that, that rotate. Really, Christmas and New Year's is like the two, and Halloween are like the three that basically always stay the same on a given day. But most of his followers probably don't even recognize that and are outraged because they really believe that this was done in a conspiratorial way to set up that it's done on purpose, that it's Easter that we made. It's crazy. And we're losing the point of Biden went ahead and recognized Trans Day of Visibility, which was the real story that what we didn't have for 4 years while Trump was in office was recognition of any LGBTQIA plus ... events. They didn't light up the White House with the rainbow flag in June, which they did during Obama, and Biden's brought all that back. So.
I mean, the only time I believe that Trump ever mentioned pride was like basically a self-congratulatory declaration saying that he is the most pro-LGBT president of all time. Oh God.
So next time though, Easter is going to be on March 31st. It's going to be 2086, believe it or not. So we won't.
When's it on April 1st?
Next year. we won't be around to see that. Let's queer up drag culture. Drag Race's Morphine shows Miami is a drag capital of the world. In a thrilling episode of RuPaul's Drag Race Season 16, Morphine Love Dion faces off against Safira Cristal in a lip-sync battle for survival. Despite her fierce performance, Morphine was ultimately asked to sashay away from the competition in episode 13. In an exclusive exit interview with Out Magazine, Morphine opens up about her journey on the show, her impact on the Miami drag scene, and her ambitious plans to elevate the city to a new level of drag excellence, aiming to make it the ultimate drag capital for enthusiasts worldwide. Morphine shared that being on Drag Race brought her local celebrity status in Miami to new heights. Representing her city was her main goal, and the overwhelming love and support from the Miami LGBTQ+ community have been incredible. Despite any future endeavors, she said Miami will always be home to her, and she's proud to represent the 305 wherever she goes. When Out asked, quote, "Now that you have this huge platform from Drag Race, what's next for Morphine?" she shared her plans for music and makeup ventures, but said, quote, "My main goal, honestly, is to uplift Miami." She aims to establish Miami as a prominent drag capital similar to Chicago, Los Angeles, and New York. Morphine hopes to see more representation from Miami in future seasons of Drag Race and is determined to expand the city's drag culture to new heights. So also interesting in this interview, I don't know if you read through the whole thing, but she hasn't come out to her family yet.
Oh.
Well, shocker.
And that's wow. Brought that
if
up.
You're watching, breaking news.
Well, I don't think they're watching, thank God. But, I mean, it's not generally nice to out someone, but then she's already on national television. But, and please consider 954 instead of 305. We have an entire strip here.
Or 813 or...
Drag Queen. Yeah.
5'6",
Yeah. Miss Beauty pageant. That's what it sounds like she was answering question to. So anyway. All right. If everyone's ready, let's move on to queering up sports. Martina Navratilova drags Caitlyn Jenner hypocrisy on trans rights. Wait, what? While we typically don't align Martina Navratilova's past transphobic remarks when it comes to sports, her recent response to Caitlyn Jenner got Queer News Tonight's attention. Both share the same views on trans women in sports, yet their political affiliations diverge greatly. Jenner's alignment with Trump contrasts Navratilova's support for Democrats, notably Joe Biden. This contrast was evident when Jenner echoed far-right rhetoric about the White House's recognition of Trans Day of Visibility. Republicans spent the last weekend griping about Biden honoring Trans Day of Visibility as it also coincided with Easter this year. But Jenner seemed a bit confused about how holidays function as she took to Twitter to share her rather outlandish views. She wrote, quote, "I am absolutely disgusted that Joe Biden has declared the most holy of holy days, a self-proclaimed devout Catholic, as Transgender Day of Visibility. The only thing you should be declaring on this day is he is risen." Continue, end quote. Continuing her tirade on Fox News, she accused Democrats of undermining family values and dismantling religious institutions. Navratilova strongly criticized Jenner with the tweet that captured everyone's attention. Navratilova wrote, quote, "So says a divorcee, 6 children with 3 different wives, and it's the left that is destroying the family. Got it? What a pathetic hypocrite," end quote. Just like many Republicans, Jenner refused to acknowledge her hypocrisy, and the game went on. We just touched on this a lot about the fact that so many people are uninformed about the fact that most holidays change from year to year on the date. It's been interesting that Martina Navratilova over the last couple of days has been quoted on supporting a lot of things around Trans Day of Remembrance when she's such a critic about whether a trans woman should be playing women's sports. But, good for her to at least be taking a stand where she's comfortable making a stand and standing up for the rights.
But it's really easy to call out Caitlyn Jenner.
It's true. It's an easy one. You gave her freebie.
She's one of the easier targets because she's not stupid. She is deliberately spreading this conspiracy theory on Fox News because she knows that she can, because essentially she can get exposure through basically leaning so far right that none of us basically write her off.
Yeah, and then that gives Fox News someone that they can go to and say, look, we're inclusive. We've included Caitlyn Jenner.
And I hope I got that right the first one. I was talking about Navratilova being outspoken in a positive way for change. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, tonight's broadcast is presented with the generous support by Visit Lauderdale, everyone under the sun.
We are proud of our special partnership with Sunshine Cathedral, the world's largest queer church here in Fort Lauderdale. Supporting that partnership, we are broadcasting from our permanent set here at Sunshine Cathedral at the Happening Out television studios. We broadcast Sunshine Cathedral's Sunday International Service at 10:30 a.m.
finish tonight's Queer News headlines with a segment we call LGBTQ+ 1 Minute News.
LGBTQ plus 1 minute news. Let's queer up politics. LGBTQ plus protesters cover the state capitol in thousands of paper hearts to send love, not hate. Activists in Ohio made a bold statement against anti-LGBTQ plus rhetoric by dropping over 48,000 colorful paper hearts at the state capitol. Each heart symbolized an LGBTQ plus individual in Idaho, covering the rotunda floor. ACLU Idaho initiated the campaign early in March, urging people to send hearts in protest. Within 12 days, they received an overwhelming response from 20 cities, including Coeur d'Alene and Pocatello. Many of these hearts had messages on them like, "Stop the hate," and "I am trans and I vote." However, while the paper hearts were being dropped to show solidarity against the hateful laws, the House deliberated over 2 new anti-trans bills.
LGBTQ plus 1 minute news. Let's corrupt the worldview. It's final as Uganda's highest court upholds crucifixion kill the gays law. The Constitutional Court of Uganda has upheld the controversial Kill the Gays law, which imposes severe penalties for consensual same-sex relationships. While refusing to annul or suspend the law, the court acknowledged its inconsistency with rights to health, privacy, and freedom of religion. In a unanimous decision spanning 200 pages, the 5-member court responded to a petition filed by 2 law professors from Makerere University in Kampala to challenge the Anti-Homosexual Act. Besides penalizing homosexuality, the law also imposes a 20-year prison term for individuals and groups found promoting homosexuality in Uganda.
LGBTQ plus 1 minute news. Let's queer up travel. Historic return of LGBTQ plus fun maps, starting with New York and Fort Lauderdale. For over 3 decades, Alan Beck, the creator of Fun Maps, has been at the forefront of LGBTQ plus travel. Recently, amidst political turmoil, Alan temporarily rebranded to Gay Travel Maps in protest of Florida's Don't Say Gay law. Now, he's returning with Fun Maps to its roots this month. He'll kickstart the new journey with New York and Fort Lauderdale in focus. Alan's advocacy for LGBTQ plus rights can be witnessed through his digital guides that reach 36 destinations. From printed maps to mobile-friendly apps, Fun Maps guides are available in bars, hotels, and welcome centers, making LGBTQ plus travel more accessible and inclusive. We're glad to have Alan with us tonight as an anchor on Queer News Tonight.
LGBTQ plus 1 minute news. Let's queer up entertainment. Amazing new poster of Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn for Joker 2. It's time to dive into Gaga's epic Harley Quinn saga with Joker, Fully Ado. The film is set to light up the screen with Joaquin Phoenix and Lady Gaga leading the role. The first poster has dropped, showcasing the dynamic duo in their wicked iconic makeup. "The world is a stage," teases the caption, with the trailer scheduled on April 9th. Phoenix reprises his chilling role as Arthur Fleck, aka the Joker, while Gaga steps into the shoes of the vivacious Harley Quinn. And here's the twist. It's not just any sequel. It's a jukebox musical. While the plot is still a mystery, fans are buzzing with excitement, speculating on where the story would take us.
LGBTQ plus 1 minute news. Let's queer up the USA View. History is made as U.S. immigration adds 3rd gender option to paperwork. United States Citizenship and Immigration Services introduces an X-gender option on the naturalization application form, accommodating gender non-conforming immigrants. The move streamlines the process for applicants from countries with similar markers. The update, initially only for Form N-400, aims to align with evolving gender identities Immigration Services plans to extend the option to other forms gradually. Applicants in progress can update, but those already certified must wait for further updates. This move marks a significant step in inclusivity and recognition for gender diverse individuals in the immigration process. That is today's news for the LGBTQ plus community on the world's first and only daily LGBTQ plus evening news show.
If our community is important to you, share this news with your friends and family. Are you, like most of America, part of our very large television audience watching this live LGBTQ plus news broadcast right now on Roku, Apple TV, Android TV, and Amazon Fire TV?
Queer News Tonight is the only live LGBTQ plus digital television show in the world that is out of the closet and into the headlines. We need your support. If our community is to grow, we must tell our stories and bring them to the attention of the broader world.
This is the only place in the world that tells these types of LGBTQ plus stories in motion and sound. This is the passion of Hotspots magazine, happening on television network, and Queer News Tonight.
I've been your anchor tonight, Tai Houser, and on behalf of these LGBTQ plus reporters, the anchors of Queer News Tonight, including Alan Beck, Dr. Bobby Huen, and Glen Weinzimer, we'll see you daily at 8 p.m. And to our LGBTQ plus world, we'd like to wish you a very good
night.
Good night.